Hello there, this is Representative Muffy Davis with the final legislative update of the 2019 session. Yes, we just finished our session yesterday, April 11th. We finally sine-died. We were about 2.5 weeks over the original scheduled sine-die date, but thankfully we're able to finally get through. Unfortunately, not everything got accomplished as we had hoped this session. There were many challenges and some obstacles, but we did have some successes. And it was definitely for me as my first session as a legislator here in the Idaho State Legislature. It was an eye-opening and a great learning experience, and I am very honored to be here and to be a representative of all my constituents in District 26. We were able to get the Revenge on Voters Act vetoed by Governor Little, which I believe was a big success, and a huge thank you to all of you, because it couldn't have happened without all of you. We did our best in the legislature, but we are a super minority there, and a lot of people just didn't want to listen. So it was passed out of the House and out of the Senate and to the governor. But thankfully, Governor Little realized that there were serious potential constitutional violations and was just going to lead to serious expenses in legal defense. So he thankfully did veto those bills. Unfortunately, the House pulled some shenanigans and in a last minute effort tried to introduce new legislation for initiative limitations. Thankfully, that did not go very far. The House Bill 303, which was one of them. There were 4 introduced in committee, only one that was brought forward to the floor, which was House Bill 303. It did pass out of the House, but thankfully the Senate was wise enough and did not move very far in the Senate and was killed there. Unfortunately, this year we did get Medicaid expansion passed. You all passed it in Proposition 2, but unfortunately the legislature was unwilling to do a clean implementation of that, and we had some limitations put on that full clean Medicaid expansion, which will be some work requirements, which will probably lead to millions of dollars, yearly expenses trying to, in additional bureaucracy, which will try to hunt down and find and make sure people are actually, in fact, fulfilling those work requirements, which many people will already be exempted from those for whatever reason, but there are about 11,000 people that will qualify in that expansion gap population that will qualify to have to do these mandatory work requirements, and it will be millions of dollars each year to make that actually come to fruition. It will probably also lead to a legal battle, as no waivers with work requirements have been approved. They have actually been voted down as unconstitutional and in violation of what Medicaid is fundamentally about, which is offering health care to poor people. So hopefully, and what we wanted to do with Medicaid expansion was offer health benefits to the working poor. Most of the people that will qualify in this expansion group are already working. They already are, as much as they can, but the hope was to offer them healthcare coverage so that they'd be able to go out and work more and have more productive lives, because they would be healthy and would not be neglecting some of their healthcare needs. We will just have to see where this goes. I believe there will probably be some challenges to the legislation, and only time will tell. We will keep putting pressure. Hopefully we can amend it and change it and maybe get rid of some of those work requirements. But for now, that is what is going to happen. Next January, Medicaid expansion will go into full effect with those limiting requirements on some of Idahoans that are in that population. And unfortunately, this year also, we were not able to get a good comprehensive hemp bill passed. We tried really hard, and there were several modifications and amendments, and nothing was ever able to get through our legislature that would enable our farmers to grow hemp, or would enable people to have legal CBD oil if it has any amount of THC in it. So right now, that is where we are. Any hemp product that has 0 amounts of THC is currently legal in Idaho. So if you can get CBD oil with 0 THC, that is still legal here in Idaho. but any amount of THC in any of those products, it is still not legal in the state of Idaho. And we'll keep trying next year as well. Senator Stennett introduced some great legislation to make exploding targets illegal during the hottest summer months. You know, last year we had that Sharps fire in the Wood River Valley, and it was millions of dollars of damage, as well as threatening, and the horrible smoke that we had all of August because of that fire and bad health conditions. And that passed out of the Senate, but unfortunately it did not pass the House by 2 votes. So we are really frustrated and sad that that great legislation, which would have protected our communities in those high fire seasons, was not able to get passed. And we will keep working on that, and we will keep working through these summer months and coming up with new legislation. Representative Toon and I tried to introduce a bill that would increase the amount of levies that ambulance districts, because several of our districts in our South counties, in Lincoln County, are really struggling to have ambulance funding for their ambulance program. And unfortunately, that was not able to get a hearing, as well as Representative Toon's wonderful rural loan forgiveness program for teachers, which was a way to try and get more teachers into our rural schools and rural communities. Unfortunately, that did not get a hearing this year as well. We were not able to come up with a clean education funding formula for next year, so that will be continued to be worked on this summer. So lots of things that are still on the agenda that need to be worked on, and we are going to keep doing the best we can. But I just wanted to thank all of you, because the successes that we had this session are in large part due to all of you continuously reaching out to your representatives, to the senators, to the governor, and urging them to listen to the will and the voices of the people. And that is why we were able to have the successes that we did have this year. And I just want to thank you all so much. Continue to reach out, continue to make sure that your voices are heard. You have any questions, concerns, or anything that I can do, Representative Toon or Senator Stennett, please do not hesitate to reach out and contact us. We will be doing some events in the off season, and hopefully you will be able to join us, ask us whatever questions you may have. But I just want to thank you all so much for the opportunity to be here to represent your will and your voice, and know that I will not quit fighting and quit fighting for what is right, for what my constituents want. And I really look forward to doing more great service here in the state of Idaho, and hopefully getting our voices, your voices, heard here in the legislature. So with that, I thank you so much. Have a wonderful spring and summer, and I will hopefully do a couple of periodic updates this as we're in out of session, and enjoy the warmer weather. Thanks so much.